Hey everyone, welcome to Scrapper's Detailing. I'm Scrapper and today I have another incredible transformation. This Traverse was trashed, but by the end it's a treasure. Many of you have commented how I should try the P&S line of products, so I'm going to be using Xpress Interior Cleaner, Terminator, Carpet Bomber, and Finisher for the detail. I purchased these products myself, so this is not a paid advertisement. Removing Chevy seats is pretty easy. I always start by loosening them up with hand tools and then bring in the impact to finish the job. The battery in a Traverse is in a very unusual spot. It's under the floor of the second row. I always disconnect the battery before I remove the seats to make sure there are no electrical shorts. With the seats out, you get a good look at just how much trash is in this thing. Stick around and I'll show you the shop vac so you can see how much garbage was inside. This vehicle looks like it came from a drive-in movie. There's popcorn, candy, peanuts, all the good theater treats. This leads me to the question of the video. Have any of you ever been to a drive-in movie? There used to be a drive-in theater about 30 minutes from me when I was growing up, but my parents never took me and it closed before I could drive myself, so I've never been to one. I know some of you are saying right now,
Scrapper, you missed that green M&M under the console.
Don't worry, I'll get that a little bit later. I didn't remove the second row of seats, and as I removed the plastic trim over the seat tracks, you'll see why. They were terribly rusted and filled with all kinds of garbage. I was able to get all the trim off though to give them a good cleaning, and also apply some lubrication to help them loosen up a little bit. After vacuuming, I'll show you some footage of how little movement they had. For those of you worried that I would miss that M&M, I'm getting it right now. Here's a better view of the seat tracks that gives you a good look at just how in tough a shape these were. If you have any tips and tricks on how to get them working better, put them in the comments below. Here's a shot of all the garbage that the shop vac sucked up. Disgusting! This is how the second row of seats are supposed to move, but this driver's side was the only one that moved and I had to squeeze my 6'3" frame through this small space to clean. The passenger side would barely move. Now we get to my first usage of some of these P&S products. I used Terminator on a couple of spots on the driver's seat. I probably didn't need to because it's an enzyme-based product that digests biological spills, and these were more grease because I had to hit them again later with some super clean. Then I applied the carpet bomber and hit it with the steamer since I don't have a hot water extractor yet. Then agitate and extract. I'll admit that I really like the scent from these products. My usual carpet cleaner has a slight lemon scent, but this one has more of an orange scent that was very pleasant. It also didn't seem to foam up as badly as my other solution. I don't have any experience with this stuff, so if you have any recommendation on dilution ratios for these three products, please let me know in the comments below. I used the Terminator and Finisher undiluted, but the Carpet Bomber was about 4-1. The Finisher is their peroxide-based product that is supposed to leave the fabric clean and fresh. Here's the dirty solution that the Bissell removed from this driver's seat. This spot in the third row is the perfect candidate for the Terminator enzyme. It looked like their dog had thrown up under the seat, or it could be some spilled food. Anyways, the Terminator did a great job of removing the smell coming from that area, and combined with the Carpet Bomber, left it looking new. This middle row of seats was another great candidate for the Terminator enzyme. The middle armrest was sticky from some pancake syrup that had been spilled, but it was no match for the P&S 1-2-3 punch. Terminator being step 1, Carpet Bomber step 2, and Finisher step 3. Even this filthy driver's footwell was no match for these products. You can clearly see the part of the carpet that was left uncovered by the all-weather floor mat, but when you see the before and after pictures, you won't even know the mat was there. I did something a little different with these floor mats. I brought them into my basement, and since I have a 50-foot pressure washer hose, I could leave my gas pressure washer outside and get these things cleaned up nicely. Now, I'd like to say that it was just a bright idea, but the real reason I had to bring it to the house is a little more disgusting than anything the Traverse held. I had to open up our sewage pit in the basement and use the jetter that attaches to my pressure washer to jet out the sewer line under my floor that comes from the basement bathroom. I'll spare you the gory details of that horrible job, but at least I got it done without needing to call a plumber. This allowed me to thoroughly clean the rug that was in the cargo area and all the floor mats. I'll apologize now for this rug. My wife says I drive her OCD crazy because I go in one direction, then my ADHD kicks in and I start going in another. You'll also notice a drastic color change when I start pushing out the water. Something with my editing software just changed the color of that scene for some reason. If anyone is a Premiere Pro expert, let me know in the comments below what I might have done wrong. I also tried an interesting trick I saw from a video at Stauffer Garage. I used a rake to push out as much water as possible, then I brought in my snow rake from my roof before I used the Bissell to leave them as close to dry as I can. Here's my first chance at using the P&S Xpress interior cleaner. I think I found my new favorite product. This stuff foams up so nicely, and it isn't as harsh as the Car Pro inside I've always used. When I spray Car Pro, I can really tell when I inhale because it irritates my lungs. This stuff I barely noticed. What I did notice was the pleasant smell that it had. It didn't smell chemically at all. It has a fruity smell that was very pleasant. I diluted this about 4-1, but if anybody has any other recommendations on dilution ratios, put them in the comments below. I've got this product and all the other products and tools I use linked in the description below. Feel free to purchase through those links. It won't cost you any extra, but the channel will make a small commission that will help me pay for my wife's purse addiction. The center console was in really bad shape, but with the Xpress and the steamer, I was able to get the gunk cleaned out of the cup holders and all the tight lines in the shifter and center compartment. With all of the trim properly cleaned, it's time to restore it and give it some UV protection. My product of choice is 303 Aerospace Protectant. It's an easy product to use as you just spray some on a microfiber applicator and wipe down all your surfaces. It restores and protects your plastic and vinyl. Since I'm not able to work on exteriors, I still like to make sure the door jambs are clean. There's something about opening your doors and being greeted by a clean and shiny door jamb that makes me feel the vehicle is completely clean. I spray the jambs with some quick detailer and wipe it down with a microfiber cloth. It's an easy step, but one that I feel goes a long way with impressing the client. This trash Traverse has a new lease on life, and I have a few new favorite products to use. If you found the video satisfying, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe. I also have a couple more great detailing videos on the left side of the screen. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, keep it clean.